Hi everybody, I am Lita from Special Oil Society and JadeInThePark.com, and I have two helpers with me, D and E of Jade, and we're going to do a little experiment and then I'm going to do some science teaching. So let's first show them what we have in our bowls. We both have oatmeal that are pretty solid. It's not moving, it's pretty thick. She's going to stir hers, and then E's going to stir hers, and D's going to stir hers, and you're going to see how thick it is. Can you guys show it to them? It's kind of that thick, chunky, congealed oatmeal. All right, stop right there, girls. What we're going to do right now is we are going to go ahead. Oops. Okay. We drop them, but we promise we won't eat the oatmeal. Okay, we're going to use Terrazyme, and I'm going to explain what's going to happen next. But I'm going to put Terrazyme, and we're going to open it up in one of the oatmeals. Girls, lift it up. Show them that it's nothing. It's still the dried old stuff. We're going to open up one capsule. Terrazyme is not a probiotic. Sometimes people get that confused. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria, and doTERRA's probiotic has a prebiotic outside layer that helps feed the good bacteria, and that's very, very important. But that's not what Terrazyme is. Okay, so we have two capsules of Terrazyme, and she's going to start stirring it. Okay, girls, start stirring it. Stay close by so they can see you, and you're going to go ahead and kind of stir it around. It's kind of like a powder, tasteless powder. This is wonderful for children also. You can put a quarter or a third of a capsule in their meal. They have to eat it pretty quickly because you're going to find out what happens. But this is really wonderful for kids with digestive issues also. So they're both working. You guys are both here. Yes. So now while they're doing that, she's stirring it around, kind of getting the powder in. And then we're going to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about the special, what's going to be happening in Terrazyme. So go ahead, stand behind me, girls, so I can get closer so you can still be in the camera. There you go, and keep stirring. Okay, so let me get my notes out. So Terrazyme is digestive enzymes, and they really support healthy digestion and metabolic support. So metabolic is really important. You think, okay, metabolism, digestion, and our metabolic system also affects our hormones, and so they're really all intermixed. So let's talk a little bit about what people use this for. So some people use Terrazyme for what it does is conversion of food nutrients to cellular energy, so we can actually use the nutrients we eat. Promotes gastrointestinal comfort and food tolerance. So sometimes you have certain foods that don't agree with you. Sometimes you just eat poorly, and these are great, honestly. Sometimes I've come back from date night and taken a couple of those because the food is still in my stomach, and it's been amazing. No sluggishness the next day, no bathroom issues. But you don't have to wait till afterwards. It's even probably better to take it 30 minutes before you eat. But it's wonderful because it starts giving you extra digestive enzymes. And they're really helpful for healthy production of metabolic enzymes that we talked about, which are in your pancreas and different things. So for instance, when you smell food, do you know that your body starts producing enzymes in your pancreas and in your stomach as soon as they smell food? And so it's helping prepare your body to let you know, okay, it's time to bring the enzymes and help to digest that food. And so this just helps support what your body already does naturally. Now, let's talk a little bit about that. So Terrazyme also, what's in it there are 10 different compounds, enzymes, that are really wonderful for your food. When you think of proteins, that breaks down the proteins to peptides and amino acids. That's what we want our bodies to break down the food. So this is aiding with protein. Sports medicine, and there's a lot of good things about sports health and people who are active in even professional sports. And they find that using, especially a lot of them they recommend highly plant-based food enzymes for digesting their food, for energy and cellular uptake of energy, and helping them to really use the food that they eat for nutrition and fuel. And that's what in a sports athlete, why there's such good, it's really important what they eat to get maximum output so that they can excel in their sport. So that's why this is important. Papain, and then of course, which I'm not saying it correctly, but it comes up, breaks down the protein also. And then you have amylase, that's what breaks down carbohydrates, starches, and sugars. Lipase is what breaks down the fats and oils to be absorbed into the intestine. Sometimes when you eat a lot of fatty food, it goes really quickly through your system. So lipase helps to break that down. So you're not, especially, could you guys slow it down, quiet down? If you're eating a lot of fatty foods too, this is wonderful for that. So lactase, of course, a lot of us have problems in the world out there with lactose intolerant. This helps. It has something in there so you don't have to take a separate item. Alpha galactase. That breaks down the complex polysaccharide sugars found in legumes and cruciferous vegetables, and that can cause you a lot of bloating and gas. So this is wonderful when you have bean night or meatless Mondays. This is great for that. Cellulase breaks down fiber to help digest fruit and vegetables, and sucrase breaks down sucrose to fructose and glucose for energy. So that's really, sucrase is really important. And I know a lot of people are concerned about gluten. They may not have celiac disease, but they know they don't feel well with gluten. These are the anti-gluten enzyme blend that is in here, and that really assists breaking down gluten. So people who may accidentally eat gluten one day or want to splurge, not saying that I encourage whatever, but just saying that you have some options to help you break that down. And then glucosamylase, I said that wrong, I'm sorry, it breaks down starch. So I actually recommend taking it even if you don't have stomach issues, but especially if you do. If you have upper GI issues, the burning, if you have stomach issues with certain foods, do not we call it the Pizza Hut effect, okay, in our home, or the mocha movement, the coffee. I can't believe I just said that. I'm so sorry. You're knowing all of our personal things. But anyway, whenever you have those types of things that your family might think are normal, this is what you need, because this is really going to be helping you to prevent. How is it coming? Is it going okay?
Mine's still.
Yep, yours is still thing, and then yours is starting to get a little. So now I would like you to go.
Watering the bottom.
It's getting watery in the bottom already. Okay, not the bottom. Okay, go ahead and
Mine's,
stir it around and just really kind of keep going. Okay, so go ahead and keep stirring there. All right, so Ellie, you don't have to stir as much. Let her stir more. Okay, so let me get back to that, what we were talking about. So enzymes are wonderful. Our body already produces enzymes, but as we age, and certain things such as stress, and sometimes medications, antibiotics, different metabolic issues can sometimes actually decrease the amount of enzymes we have throughout our body. So it's really important, and as well as aging, as we age and we show sign of wrinkles and different things, it's really important to help our metabolic, to get the nutrients from our food and to help the digestion process. As you know, as we age, sometimes kids can eat all the crazy stuff at the fair and we can't. And so there's a reason why. It's not just their kids, it's what's going on with their digestive enzymes. So how do you use it? One, with raw foods, mostly raw foods, 51% to 99%. For two, if you're having normally healthy cooked foods, but if you're gonna have like a lot of high fat foods or fast food, you might wanna take 3 before a meal. And you can kind of do that to comfort level. So basically, we also know now that there's a lot of immune responses where our body has an autoimmune response, especially in our gut, as well as to things that are, maybe some things are not digesting well. And so this is also very important for that whole process. When you break down carbohydrates, it just helps you to release the nutrients in your food for energy uptake, which I discussed about, as well as your endocrine system and metabolic system are all kind of connected. Let me just go back to another page in my notes. Okay. So I already talked about most other things. So there are usually enzymes in raw foods, but most enzymes in the raw foods that we have are different than from 100 years ago. That's another reason why we need to support enzymes. But especially if you have cooked food, if you get 116 degrees, pretty much the enzymes in the food are kind of rendered neutral or inactive, I should say. So you really need active enzymes to help with breaking down that food. So one other thing I would say is if you want to put a probiotic, the PB Assist, and the Terrazyme together, you're going to have a great nutritional and intestinal health. And so I really want to recommend having this on an empty stomach in the morning or whenever, before every meal. I sometimes take 2 a day. If you have any GI issues, I highly recommend it. The other thing is DigestZen. Okay, how's it going? You still stirring it? Wow, it's starting to glisten and liquefy. Wow, it's definitely, you can't see it quite yet. Keep going there, sweetie. And yours is still dry and congealed. So keep going, Dylan. You're doing great. Okay, so DigestZen. This is what we're going to use for topically on the outside of any kind of burning, coughing after you eat, your lower abdomen when you're going to the bathroom too much or not going to the bathroom enough. Also, I should let you know Terrazyme is excellent if you're not going to the bathroom enough. You can even try to take a couple, maybe more than 2 at nighttime before bed to really help move things along. This would be really great. You could take up to a few more. So DigestZen, though, is also helpful on your belly button, just a drop in your belly button, and it works like this. This is a conversion oil. This is the oil that people go, okay, in the middle of the night, you need this oil when your kids are not feeling their best, or you've been on a trip and someone's not feeling well, or airplane, and they're starting to get You need to have things in your toolbox, or if you're a mom, your mom tool belt. And so this is one of the ones that we always have with us at all times. We keep one in our bathrooms that someone needs it. We have it diluted in a roller ball. For young children, you could even just do 1 or 2 drops in a small roller ball with coconut oil. I like a few drops of DigestZen and wild orange because it covers the smell. It smells like an Indian restaurant, so it's not the best smell. It smells, but it's because it's ginger and tarragon. And I actually love the smell because it brings such relief. When I smell it, I feel good. But it has ginger, peppermint, caraway, coriander, anise, tarragon, and fennel. It has a supplement fact on it, and not all essential oils do. So this you can take internally, a little bit under your tongue. If I'm not feeling well, it has directions for putting it in water, and I've taken that one, especially on stomach issues. It'll really nail that down. On the bottoms of your feet, for kids that may not feel great and they don't want to smell anything, or adults who don't want to smell it, you can put it on the bottom of your feet. But I actually love it. So you really want to think about that from up here to down there. Anything in between, DigestZen is helpful. Now, one thing I did talk about was the whole idea of not just energy uptake, but our emotions. The vagus nerve has been kind of found between our microbiome, our gut, intestinal tract, to our brain. About 2 years ago, there was some good research about that, and you can definitely go Google that. But what we found is that your serotonin, like at least 80% of your serotonin is produced in your intestinal area. And as we know, serotonin makes us feel good, and we really want to, we think, oh, it's just in our brain, but it's really in our gut. All gut starts in the health, and all health starts in the gut. And so what I want to say is this, that you really want to support that, and really, for our emotions, anxious feelings that leave you paralyzed, and you feel sick in that pit in your stomach. Well, that pit in your stomach is actually part of the process is that kind of stress, and we feel it in our belly. So when I had a child that was very stressed out in the bathroom, didn't want to go somewhere, and it was a big deal. I just got the oils, and I was like, listen, this smells like an Indian restaurant. You know, the big bowl of seeds when you leave the Indian restaurant that you chew to help with digestion? That's what this is. And I hand him through the bathroom door, and like, just put a drop on your belly, and 3 minutes later, running down the steps like I'm ready to go, and put the shoes on. And so part of it could have been the belly issue, but some of my children get very stressed. When they get stressed, they have tummy issues, or they're in their bathroom and they're not feeling their best. And so this is what this is for. This will help just to make it in a roller ball. They can just discreetly put a drop on their belly button, and it's much better. So let's go ahead. We're near the end. Do you have any questions? Any other questions? Go ahead and type it in. Okay, so this again is the unterrazymed oatmeal. It's very dry. It's sticky. What'd you say? Now I'm going to tell you a little secret. Thank you. A little secret for how to deal with congestion, and I'm going to show you that one last thing. So now look at this. This is the Terrazymed oatmeal. Do you see that?
Not Terrazyme.
I'm not sure if you can see this, but I wanted you to see it. You guys see how liquidy that is? She didn't add any water. She was right behind me the whole time. So that took about 5 minutes. How long have we been on this when we started that? I'll have to time that, but someone can look and see how long we've been talking. And look how liquid it is. So this is great. Like again, for children, you can put it in pudding. It does break it down pretty quick, or oatmeal. But what it does is breaking down the carbohydrates to help in our bodies, helping to break down the food, the cellulose fibers, and helping to your body to start to break down and get the nutrients out of the food so you can better absorb it. That's why athletes love this too. This is a great product, and I highly recommend it. The last tip is a secret tip for DigestZen, and if you're on my team, you already know a lot about this, but if you have any congestion, ears, swimmer's ear pain in the kids with the blocked up noses, ears, sinuses, throat, what you're going to do for an adult, not for a child, not for a little kid, you would just take it for an adult, DigestZen, a little swab, and you could put a little fraction of coconut oil and go over their sinuses or over their throat, anywhere where there's congestion. You would also, the reason why I say not kids, because it's very close to their eyes. So if they're real young and they're going to rub their hands in their eyes, you don't want to because of the peppermint and ginger. It's a little too cooling and warming, and you don't want to do anything near their nose with peppermint. So that's what I'm saying. With little ones, I wouldn't do this, but for older children, absolutely. Then you would also take a little bit of DigestZen, and you can rub it in front and the back, especially the back, and then down the eustachian tube. So let me just demonstrate. Back here, and then, thank you, and then down the eustachian tube. And you would do that on both sides, over the throat, over the sinuses, anywhere congestion, and you are going to dry up. That mucus will dry up pretty quickly. It's a little trick. You can also just put it on your belly button too, and you're smelling it. It's working. It's a great oil. Any other questions? Otherwise, thank you so much, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.